Bayou Time Sports is brought to you by Terrible General Health System's Community Sports Institute in conjunction with Barker Honda.
I'd like to tell you, along with Terrebonne's own Maason Smith here at the pro football camp. Maason, great to see you again, and covering you in high school. Got to see you when you were just a young pup. So you were just 6'3.5" back then and 280 pounds. But everybody wants to know about your knee, so kind of take that off the board right off the bat.
Yeah. For everybody, listen, how y'all doing? But as the knee goes, it's been a long process, but I'm here and I'm better, healthy. Everything's been going good. I've been doing a lot of tests lately just to see how I was before I got hurt and after, and I mean, everything matches up, if not better in some categories. So, it's been going good and I'm a better person for it.
Deuce McAllister, I was telling you the story. Deuce McAllister was telling me the story. I never got hurt before in my life, anything serious. Just a little, maybe ankle twist or something like that. Then he said, man, the first time I had my knee messed up, I'd never been hurt before, so he said, I went through two things. One, it was lonely to rehab.
Yeah.
It was lonely because you by yourself, you're not with the team, you sort of having to do things yourself. And secondly, he said, it wasn't a lot about the physical part at times, between your ears.
Yeah.
Because you think, man, I'm maybe gonna get hurt again, or maybe I'm not gonna feel the same way. And he said, the second time I got hurt, it was much easier for me to come back from, but that first time was difficult, and you went through the exact same thing.
Yes, sir. I mean, it was a tough road, like I said. Just like you said, the mental part in between the ears. People have a tendency when they get hurt to feel like they not the same person, or not gonna come back the same, but that really never crossed my mind. It was never really about the ball part. I just always thought about like how I'm gonna feel, not even, cause I know regardless of it, I'm gonna do my best, and when I'm at my best, I do good, So I was just worried about the fact that I wouldn't feel the same playing, in between the tackles, just how I move, because that's a big aspect of my game.
Yeah, I know you put a lot of emphasis on the technique part of the game, and that's what makes you the person that you are. Athletically, genetics, God-given, you got it.
Yes, sir.
But I think what takes you to another level is your technique work, which you've done a lot of work on.
Yes, sir. Really with the knee, you always got to be technical. I was just, like I said, I was just always focused on trying to get back to being the same. So it's like little knickknacks here and there on my knee. I always just had to worry about it. For example, I did with an ACL tear, you got certain different types of surgeries you could have, procedures you could have. So mine was done with a patellar tendon method, So with that, you might have a chance to get patellar tendonitis or something like that. So we had to rehab at that, just so we could prevent things like that from happening. So like I said, my training room, they knew, they had everything in place to where they knew what I needed, knew what I had going on. So yeah, they did get very technical with it though in the rehab, just the stuff, just like the workouts that I had to do, how many times I worked out, the things I did, single leg, just everything, just really focusing on that leg.
Kevin House, too, you didn't lose your defensive coordinator, so he comes back for another year. You did lose your defensive line coach, Jamar. He goes to the Broncos and goes work for Joseph and also Coach Payton in Denver. But to have Kevin back for another year.
Coach Matt House?
Matt House.
Yeah. Coach House is a great defensive coordinator, just how he blitzed. His scheme is just amazing, and really to me, one of the best one I've been around since I've been in school. And really just how he focalizes grit and straining and just teaching dudes how to become men on the field and off the field at the same time, And he's a maniac when it comes to just watching film, and that's probably the hardest working coach I ever met in my life. So, we're great, and I'm very appreciative of having him back, even though that he had chances to go to the NFL jobs where he was before he got to LSU, you know. Everybody on the defense, Major Burns, my dog, one of my other best friends, he always working. And I was really surprised on how good, like, our jack linebackers, Ovi, I don't even know how you say Ovi last name, but Ovi from Texas, yeah. Ovi been real good, you know, setting the trend on the outside linebacker spot, you know, helping out. That's a big spot that we need, you know, losing BJ. You know, you need to add somebody just as good, you know, so Ovi been filling out that spot. Him and Brady Swinson, transfer from Oregon, they've been filling out that spot, doing very well.
Thanks so much for you coming here to the camp. This means so much to the young men.
Yes, sir.
Okay, because their dream, they see you, and I want to be like him. They don't know the sacrifice you had to get there.
Yes,
to
sir.
get to be a major college player.
Yes, sir.
But is there always, no matter what, come on, you in 9th, 10th grade, that was your dream too. I want to play major college football, and eventually I'd like to try to make it into the pros. Yeah. So thank you for coming here to this camp, because you don't have to be here.
Yeah.
You decided you wanted to be here.
Yes, sir. I mean, it's always good to come back home, you know, really get to see where you're from. And I love that, especially right before the season. Just it give you a reinstatement on what you're really out there for and what you're working for, or really just me. It give me a reinstatement of what I'm working for and why I'm doing this, and, you know, I made it out of Houma, Louisiana, you know, and not a lot of people do that. So it just, you know, it always bring me back to good spirits coming home and just seeing everybody that was there before I was portrayed as this big star, you know, when I was just Maason Smith at Terrible in high school. So always good to come back home and show love.